here, the Wi-Fi. We're gonna take a look. We had to make a emergency service call to here. Yep, an emergency service call because the wall button seems to be the problem, but is the wall button tied in? I don't know. I don't know. But the genie has let me down. It's got glitches. It's got problems. It probably worked like a charm because we're here. Oh, see? Looky, looky. Here we go again. Oh, got it that time. Oh, can't stop it though. Won't stop. It's moving. Well, I know Charlie's moving though. Stop. So obviously we start with must have hit the reverse here. So we'll start with this first and we'll go from there. Just how it goes. Emergency call, emergency money. Big money. Big money tonight. Yeah, right. Let's see if we can. Oh, got a slide lock on her. Got a little more room. A little more room to work here. Silly, silly things you gotta deal with these stinking openers. I think of the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Oh, I just want to beat it up. Macho Man. I should get the screen gun. A little easier. That's all right. Needed the exercise, anyways. What's he always say? Don't need no one to the left. Don't need no one to the right. Can't believe this. Unacceptable. Now, I'm pretty sure I've seen a wall button hanging around here somewhere. I know we got some. It's just where. That is the question. Oh, looks like we've got a whole little slew of them. Why a slew of them? Do we A, have a slew of them because they go bad? Did we just not install them at the customers? I don't really know. I do know on the other opener, the belt drive one, when I put the secondary button, so I had two buttons on that, one hanging from it and uh, one hanging from it. It didn't act up anymore. It was like, oh, I think he's micromanaging me, and I might be looking for the boneyard if I screw this up. So, never had a problem. Now this one just has one wall button. Did it turn the light off? Why did it turn the light off? I see it up there blinking too. Is that the red light of death? That's a lot of blinking going on up there. I don't like that. I don't think this other one. Good thing I got two of them, right? This one's not blinking red light of death. Oh, wait. I learned this. I learned this, I think, Tony. If it's blinking the red, sometimes it's because I could be scanning the phone. Is that it? I don't know. It's not doing nothing. Let's see if we can control light. Control light. I got control of the light. Yep. Clicky click. I'm working it. I'm working it. But oh, there. Now it came back. Okay. Can't stop it though. It's like the light turned off though. That's so weird. It's almost like the wires are crossed. Of course, I don't see nothing that looks really too bad. Staple wire too close? I don't know. Don't know. I wish I did know. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe we shall find out together. But don't worry, guys. This one, we're making $1,000 off this service call. Yeah. Don't worry, guys. This one, we're making the big bucks. Imagine if I had to go out to the customers and deal with this crap. Chasing it. Hopefully, and what's weird too is it was working for a while, the outside keypad, and then it stopped working. Like it was like it's like tied in with this circuit board. Oh, these things got way too many circuit boards. Now these ones, as far as I know, right, the old genie, you can still touch the wires together and it will just do its thing. Right? We got the floodlight. That's if it would work. Of course, it's gonna make me a liar. I see it up there like I see the light up there changing a lot. Like a lot, a lot. What's going on here? Might have to call tech support on it. That's gonna suck. Nothing? You don't wanna do nothing? You wanna be like that? Huh. Huh, 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 huh. All right. That one's that one. Sure is a lot of red light blinking up there for some reason. It's crazy too, is this is the door that doesn't get used that much. All right, let's try this bad boy. Oops. Get in there. Get in there, please. We can do it. We can do it. Told you guys, this is why you install LiftMaster. You'll never have problems. You install LiftMaster. That low bid, you guys been. Let's see if it works. No, still nothing. Oh, there it goes. No, doesn't act like it's the. Oh, I'm in control of that time though. Let me tighten her down. Make sure. Let's make sure we got a good connection, shall we? And are we lit? We are not lit, even though it'll work. Maybe it works better this way. I command you to stop. To stop. All right, let's switch it around. If they don't light up, typically the wires are wrong, but it'll still work. Found that out a long time ago. I was like, it's still working. Like, I don't understand what I did wrong. And I was like, I think these, I didn't do them that much. I used to think, oh, I was like, I swear it had a light on it. Yeah, it's got a light on it. There she is. Oh, she's lit. Oh, yeah, she's lit good. Real good. Nothing. Guessing it's got something. Now, what's weird is now I don't see the red light of death. All right, there's a lock. Lock is off. Lock's out. I'm in control of the light. Oh, there it goes. Okay, I told you to stop though. Push. Nothing. Another command. Nothing. Another command. Nothing. What is going on with this thing? It's like, does it have a sliced wire somewhere or something? This doesn't seem like the right. Guess we're gonna climb up there and throw a remote directly on it. See how it works. I guess maybe I got a faulty wire somewhere. I don't know. It's not getting enough signal. It's probably that new genie wire. It's too thin. Too thin for its own good since I got this one. Why not? That's how I'm looking at it. What you got? I know. Got to get a LiftMaster. I got the same problems. Whoa, sorry. That's I'm a little bit concerned. They want the maximum for that low bid. That sounds like a can of worms. All right, we got a little chunk of wire here. I don't think I got wire strippers in here. Might have to unlock the van. Unlock the van, man. Let's use this good red LiftMaster wire. Yeah, let's use some of that stuff. We know that stuff's proven over the years. It's good stuff. Hope I don't have to just leave a wall button hanging from this one too. That was kind of weird. Why it worked that way. Oh, 3024 day are making me nervous. Yeah, they all are pretty similar. You know, I don't know why all of a sudden the genie's been giving me a little bit more headache lately. The keypads, I've noticed the keypads, so keep an eye out for the keypads. Keypads are really like delayed, so I think the customers might call about that, you know, or they're just kind of living with it. I got a couple that I don't know. And then this one, and then it's like I'd like to say, well, these were box stores, so that's the problem. They're box stores, but I had I did order some of those magnets, Rich. They're a little smaller than I thought, but they work. Not the same exactly, but they're Amazon special. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I just, like I said, my brain says Marantech or Guardian. That's what my brain says. It says, Dave, try the Guardian or the Marantech. I know the Marantech keypads. I've never had flaws with them. I haven't done a lot of them, but they always work. Every time you push them, they work. It's not like you got to wake them up. The Guardians, I don't know much of the Guardian keypads. I know they're kind of ugly, in my opinion. It's my opinion. I do like the freshness tab of the genies, though. Ugh, I do like that. It was a nice rainy day today, so we didn't get a lot. The guys did a bunch of stuff. I did some running, but huh, how are we gonna get over there? The Lift Master wire. Yeah, buddy. We got the Lift Master wire. I don't have my little screwdriver on me because I ain't got my normal apparel on. The good old Lift Master wire. Back in the good old days. I'll try some of this. And this is what I did with the last one. That worked like flawless. I just left it plugged in. It was like, I don't understand it. Huh. I just don't know. I don't know, Johnny. Done a few Guardians and man, they feel really cheesy. What's are you doing the AC units? I was thinking about just doing the AC units because I got the mechanical limits. So you can turn them. Do like a belt slash. And that's if you're buying like, do you buy the rails, the one piece rail? I think their trolley is still plastic. That's kind of a turn off. See if I can make a little more room here. All right, see if I can crash and burn on this bad boy. Keys, got strippers. I don't really have a poker. Need like a poker. Need one of those fancy little screwdrivers. Probably got one in my van, but maybe I just don't feel like walking out there. Ooh, that screwdriver is nasty. That screwdriver's got all kinds of crap on it or something. What's going on here? I don't know what that screwdriver is. All right, let me see if I can find something to wipe it off. Yeah, I figure we'll get this and see what we can do from there. Okay, come on. Got a whole crew coming back. That's good. We got some kiddos, so they can help out. We got another guy coming back tomorrow. That's awesome. Ooh. Ooh. So scary. Maybe I should get a lift. I'm just joking. All right, what did he do? What did he do? How did he do it? What did he do? That photo eye is good. That photo eye is good. All right, well, I'll yank this one out. Try that first. That one didn't feel like it was in very good. Huh, I wonder if I just pulled that out. Now I gotta know. I must know. We'll blame Caleb on this one. There we go. There's that. Tell him he needs to get over here after hours. So we better get over here. Get this opener. I paid big bucks for it. Is it light? It lit. Okay. There's that. I'm tugging on both of them. I feel like they're in. Okay. I guess it makes sense, right? A little bit of vibration. Maybe that would cause it. Sweet if that's all it was. Of course, I can't see it. Oh, oh, stop. It's going like, oh, was that it? Was that it the whole time? I wonder if that was it the whole time. Because think about it. It's error. It's not. It's not Genie's fault. Genie wins. It's operator error. I like operator error. I'm glad it's operator error when it's not product failure. So then when you think about it, the other one, the old one, actually it's up here. It's right here. The one that used to be at the shop, that was an 8 foot. Now we got 10 foot. What if what it was? Look at I bet I'm just thinking when I wired in that second remote or second wall button, I bet I got a good connection, or because I twisted them, I probably twisted them, and then I got a good connection, and then this was working fine. I was like, "What's working fine?" But the one over here was doing the same thing. I don't think we changed the wall button. I think we left it, you know. But I bet we didn't have a good connection. Oh, I hope so. Boy, that would be nice. But it really sucks using the store by hand again. We've been so busy, it's just like haven't had time to look at it. So it's kind of it's on the back burner. All right, all right, all right. Let's just go with that. Let's go with that, right? It means we ain't got to call tech support. That means we ain't got to deal with all the baloney on the phone. Means Genie still has a little bit of credibility. Now the keypad. I'm gonna go out and try the keypad right now. I'll show you. We'll try it. We'll try it. Can't show you all of it. But. All right, lit up. Bam, bam, bam. And oh, it worked fine this time. All right. I wonder if that wall button has anything to do with it. Huh. Still in learn mode. Okay. I don't know. It's working great now. That's awesome. Sweet. There you go. The proof is in the pudding. Oh, I swear I pushed it. Oh, dummies stand in front of the photo eyes. Can't do that. All right. All right. All right. Cool. What you got? Just put in the master. Showed you were Harbor Freight. What ones were the Harbor Freight ones? I have to look at the text. Guardians Onion feel very cheesy. More rain. Really? Is it? It's not. I think we're supposed to. I think we got morning rain a little bit, then it dries out possibly. Oh, what you got? What you got? I replaced my newer Chamberlain Mechanical LiftMaster, and they're way better. Yeah. What kind of problems are you having? The new ones. I mean, they got their glitches to them. Don't get me wrong. I'll spot up, don't fall. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. Don't want to fall. I know. I know. That's okay. That's good with me, man. If that takes care of it, I thought I was gonna have to call tech support, and they're gonna have to give me all the BS, and then they're gonna be like, "Did you buy it from the store?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I bought it from the store." And they'd be like, "Do you have the receipt? Do you have the box?" Well, I ain't got none of that crap, man. I installed this thinking it was just gonna be good for life, and it started having problems. What do you expect me to do? That's what I want to do. I just want to install stuff that I can install like 100 things, and maybe one has a problem. I just want like 100. I might even take 50, 50, and one has a problem. You know what I mean? But when it feels like it's like you're going to install 15 or 20, and one of them's going to have an issue, and it's not like something like where like back in the day, like I remember a technician on the linear. He's like, "Yeah, this one's bad." I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "Wow, I've never had a problem with one yet. That's interesting." He brings it back, it's smashed. He obviously dropped it off the ladder. I'm like, "Dude, I don't know. That's the way it came." Ah, bull crap. Came on a skid, dude. The boxes weren't all damaged. You dropped it off the ladder. You know? Oh, it's really loose. Oh my gosh, those screws are so long. That's why you get a screw gun. Do it. I can do it. Just gotta put my back into it. Oh my gosh. They got a sure winder for this too? Fudge monkeys. I tried loosening this up, thinking that was the problem. All right, that's snug. Don't want to snap nothing. Of course, I should have put the old one back on because this one's good. Let me look at how dirty it is. I'm taking this off again, I'm getting the screw gun. I ain't dealing with this. All right, where did we put it? Must be over here. Do, 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 do. Oh, not 2019 or 2019. Wanted older. Yeah, the older ones are pretty cool. You know what I mean? Mechanical limits. Man, they just run and run. Not like these new ones that push buttons. I think we got to save one though, because for a customer, it's going to be so it kind of stinks that they changed the cabinets on them because the customer I just detailed, it's going to be crummy to try to move the angle. That baby looks pretty clean. Look, I'd say it classifies as new. I don't think that was the problem anyway, so we'll throw it back in the bag in case customer damages or breaks theirs, and then we got one. You know. 1355, 1265. Those were C450. Nice. Well, I was thinking today. I was thinking about Rich with the was it South Main Auto? Am I saying it right? Anyways, Eric, right? Is that his name? Eric, the car guy. And I was thinking, I wonder if he's got any. I thought I'd seen something possibly through Facebook. But I'll tell you what, I've been trying to work on some vans, and it's getting to be very difficult. You know what I mean? Like it's overwhelming. It's not even like fun. When I think about it, because I I had this happen with the 2017 van Express. Um, Thought we looked it all up. I think Caleb did it that way, and he even used the license plate. And he's like, "Oh, he's like gives you all the information right here. What specs are the van? Blah blah." Blah. I'm like, "That's pretty ingenious. That's pretty cool." Well, he did all that work, Come to find out, um, it wasn't the right transmission pan gasket. And when you're in the moment, when you're in the moment of doing something like that, it's not fun to drop what you're doing going, damn, it's not the right one. Like, oh well, it kind of happens. So the Wafertron believes that we ordered it. I don't remember because that was a little while ago. So we got this other van. I start working on it a little bit. I think I'm doing everything right. Right. I take the pan gasket, which is a rubber one on there, but it's not a very good rubber. It's a very flimsy rubber. It's not the nice reusable kind in a sense. And it was leaking from the get go from the previous owner. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna get a better gasket. I know they make a better one. So I think I'm a good doobie, and I take the old gasket down there, and when I'm out doing service today. I stopped by AutoZone, and it was kind of weird how they wrote me in there because I know I got $20, I believe, on the account that they can use because I bought a few things. I go in there, and this isn't like the first time. The service is just getting so horrible, so horrible. I just can't believe how bad the service is getting. I go in there, and I have a lady, and she just does not seem like she has an automotive bone in her anywhere. You know what I mean? Just not good, not good. So I'm being patient, I'm being nice, and she's looking it up. She grabs me the gasket, and then she says, "Well, do you want this one?" I'm like, "I want the top of the line. Like, I'm not here to be stingy. I'm sure you deal with a lot of really cheap customers. Like, I just want the best. Give me the best." Comes out, this one's all nice and in a package. It's flat, sweet. That's awesome. I start looking at it. So man, so this gasket does not seem now. In the old gasket, I had hanging overnight, so it would dry out a little bit. And she's like, "Well," she goes, "This is what it says it takes." And I'm like, "Yeah, but like wouldn't even give me her eyeball." What I mean? Never. I'm like, "But doesn't this look?" And she goes, "Yeah, but maybe it's stretched." I'm thinking, well, maybe the transmission fluid or whatever with the hanging. I did squirt it possibly. I hit it by accident a little bit with some brake cleaner. Maybe that deformed the rubber a little bit since it was, I guess. I mean, but it still looks kind of, and there's customers starting to come behind me. There's nobody else to help. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of like, yeah, I said, well, at least I can always return it, right? Didn't feel real good about it. But I'm thinking I'm just overlooking something because it looks similar, but it's not quite the one. Get it back, start messing with it. It's not the right one. Not even close. I take and I'm thinking I'm not gonna open this damn thing. I'm not gonna open it. I'm not gonna do it. I've learned over the years. So I'm like, this ain't right. And it's $61 for this gasket. You know what I mean? 61 a little bit of change. Well, I guess I'm gonna take it back. So I go back down. I go in there to a different one, and there's like probably 5 or 6 people there, and I'm the only customer. I walk in. Now they don't always do this, right? But I walk in. I don't get nobody that greets me. Hey, welcome to AutoZone. How you doing? I walk up to this one dude. I don't know if it was a dude or a girl, and I know that's kind of the return desk. So I'm like, I said, I got to return. This person like just kind of glanced at me and glanced back down. I'm like, okay, like they must be no, nothing like not a problem. I'll be with you in just a minute. I'm just doing something real quick here, or could you possibly have could you have one of these other guys I think it was all guys besides the it. And I said, and so I didn't even say. I just looked and I was like, and I seen another guy. He was looking at me kind of smiling. And he had one of the gray shirts, so I thought he was a little bit higher up. So I said, hey, I said, you look, like you could probably give me a hand here, And so I'm just looking, right? I'm just looking for service. I'm not trying to send a rocket to the moon. I'm just looking for a hello, how you doing? Now I've worked in the automotive industry a long time ago, right? It's just hello, how you doing? Sure, let me take a look at it for you. Just something. And these people are just so dry and so out of touch. And I mean, the whole time I'm there, I'm just sitting there going, I should have went to Rock Auto. I should have just ordered the crap. I should just wait. No, but I was impatient a little bit, so I wanted to, I'm like, And then after I leave, even I'm doing a little bit of the people are being a little goofy, so I might have been exceeding the speed limit, might have been a little bit, and I'm thinking, it'll be my luck too. After all this goes through, now I get a speeding ticket. That'd be the cherry on top. But and then the guy's looking it up, and he's like, "Yeah, this guy, and he's having a really really hard time. He's got to keep asking people, and then this and that, and he's like on the return, and I'm like, then they go to look for it. He's like, we don't have it. He's like, you might want to go. That's what he tells me. He says you might want to go check out maybe like Rock Auto. I'm like, he's like, my Chevy Silverado out there, which I don't know. I think it was maybe a 2000 era. He goes, I couldn't find anybody in town that has a radiator for it or can get one. And I'm just like, I just want to be like, I thought this was America. You know what I mean? I thought this was the land of the free, the the land of the brave. Like I'm like, I can't get a gasket. Like, I mean, you can't even like. Yeah, I expect him to be like, well, we don't have one. We got to order it in. Okay, whatever, man. Just like I want the Duralast Gold. I want the. I was so fed up. I said, I'm not even gonna go to another store. I'm just not. I've already tried looking online. It tells me this is the one. This guy says he can't find a radiator for a Chevy. I can't find a transmission pan for a Chevy. And then the guy's telling me right there, you might want to go to Rock Auto. And so I do. And they're $28 for a pan and gasket, or the gasket and a filter. And all I was thinking about I was actually thinking about you guys. And I was thinking, if you're going to get into business and stuff, and I used to do this when I was a young man, even when I was working at a shop. And I was thinking, I think it's more important now than ever that you need to have two vehicles, especially if you got older vehicles. You need two vehicles. One goes down, the other one's running. When that one's running, you got to get the other one fixed. You know what I mean? And it takes time. And you might have to order this stuff online. You might have to do it yourself if you're mechanically inclined, or you got to take it into the shop for certain things. But what a freaking nightmare. I just could not believe it. Maybe it's with me in my older age. I expect to go there. I don't even, it's like, I don't even care. I don't care what the price is. I just want the damn thing. You know what I mean? Is it 120 bucks? I'll pay 120 bucks. Yeah, I can go to Rock Hall and get it for 28, but I'm here and I want it now. And they don't have it. Now, if it was for like the Nissan or something, I understand. Or really, a Model T, I understand you guys probably don't have that, but you don't have something for a 2012 and you don't have something for a 2017 Chevy. Something's wrong out there. Maybe it's being poised this way to make us drive electric vehicles. You know what I mean? You have so much, you're just like, I'm not dealing with this crap anymore. I can't get parts. I can't get this. That's what I could see them doing. I could see them doing that. Mm. No, the trans I don't think was replaced. And that's the thing too. As I asked both of them, I said, I got the VIN. I said, you want to try to enter the VIN? And then the first time, right? Because I said, oh, so I don't think this looks right. The girl was just like, she goes, no, she goes, that's what it says. I mean, like, just so brain, like, that's what it says. That's what it's got to be. And I'm like, but can you not, like, so what did I do? I bring in the old, oh, here's that ring. I bring in that old transmission pan. So if they're like, well, it looks like it's close enough, be like, bull crap. Like, here's the transmission pan, dude. Like, it ain't gonna work. Just don't know where this world's going. Well, I think we're good here. Let's see if we can clean this up before it gets too loud out here. Do, 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 do. What's Rich got here? Suck now to like old day good parts stuff and mechanical. Yeah, I know, man. And it's been quite a. I normally use the mechanic quite a bit, but I've had a little bit of time, and I try to save a little bit of money, and I think I do a little better job sometimes than some of these, the younger generation, kind of like with the Wifetron's car. That really irritated me when when I, you know, we take it to the dealership, and then I'm watching a video, and they're saying the one guy that worked at Toyota said, all we did was put stuff in that was called brown and slippery, and I'm thinking like, hey, they're a business. I don't know if they're putting genuine Toyota oil in the damn thing. They could just be putting stuff out of a 55-gallon drum. I mean, I know my old business partner. Um, he worked at an oil change place, and I remember him telling me we run a Mobile One full synthetic. He said we'd be pumping Quaker State in them just so we could keep the day going. Um, so people will be like, I want that Mobile One full synthetic. I want the good stuff. Oh yes, sir. He said they come out with a jug. Look, 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 look. You're all set. That's going to be $120 back then. Um, just to make things happen. So who's to say the dealership? Well, we were taking it to the dealership, and then even when she they told her, I think it was 10,000 miles. And even when we were doing a lease, I said, no, 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 no. I said, we're not doing 10,000. We might have did one or something like that, or two. But I said, after that, I said, no. I said, max you go, I said, is 5,000 max. I was thinking, because it's a newer motor, it's newer technology, it's newer design. We're going 5,000. We ain't going 10. Um, and then all it took is that one time we had that kid that did it, and he didn't put enough oil in it. Luckily, he put some oil in it, I guess. And sure enough, the light came on, and the rest is kind of history. But just to think about the outcome of that, what they would have done would not have been good. And it's funny how you don't see a lot of repercussions. I'm sure there's happening. It's not really talked a ton about, like with all these Toyota Tundras. I mean, I guess it goes on the Carfax. It does not help the value of the car, being butchered. So just it's a real bummer that we're paying the price. The Americans are paying the price. You know what I mean? For all this stuff that they're producing that's like basically junk. I'm sick of the junk. Then when you top it off, the cherry on top is when you don't have good service. You know what I mean? Where that is, to me, and I understand once in a while, but it's just every stinking day it feels like. So if you want to start a business, just answer your phone, smile, be nice, nod your head up and down, pet Fluffy, and you'll do pretty good. You know what I mean? Because most of them don't do that, especially a lot of the whatever you call it, the automotive ones. I think I went into one. I went to O'Reilly's even not too long ago. I think I had two ladies there. The one, I mean, she was acting like she just got out of bed or something. She was just like, huh? I'm like I need to like do this, and it's like they're staring at that computer. It's like almost like it's like the same computer screen as what I see at home. So I just want to be like, just give me the damn computer, like I'll just go pull my own damn parts. You know what I mean? Like you go do something else. You're so bad. Okay, I'm trying to 20 Chevy. Want to own something newer. That's not bad. 2020. Yeah, man. I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of with you because I know in 19, how like you tell yourself this, but like they never report it. It's never on the news. It's never really talked about to some degree. But you'll find some people out there that'll give you that little nugget, or they'll have the insider tip. But I always knew, I was like, man, at 2019, and then we've seen just so many people. I mean, I seen it even in my own family. People are like, I'm done. Like I'm calling it. Like I'm doing early retirement. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And I just kept thinking, this can't be good, man. Like I worked in a factory once, and I remember like there were certain tricks that we knew how to run the machines and how to produce good parts that just took time. You know what I mean? And they wanted us to document stuff all the time. And it was like, I don't care how much you put in that book, what you ran the machine. This machine it's like a living, breathing creature. And every time you run a different piece of steel through it or whatever, it'll react different. So it's a matter of just like got to know what to do. You know what I mean? How to tune it, how to make it hum, basically. And sometimes, yeah, I mean, we had a few, but it was funny because back then it was like Toyota. Toyota was a big one. I think Nissan, their quality control, like we didn't let stuff go out the door. But if you had like Chevy or General Motors, Chrysler, Ford, we'd let some stuff kind of like it's close enough. All they're doing is putting a sensor in there. It's just a bumper. It doesn't need to be right here where the pin is. And the gusset, whatever. But you're probably onto something. It's just hard because I think they're gonna weed us out. You know what I mean? I keep telling myself, you will own, or was it you'll own nothing and be happy. And I sit there and I keep thinking how I go, man, they're right. Like this is it gets to be such a problem, a pain to try to fix stuff that and then trying to get parts, and then if they make the stuff obsolete, what choice do you have? You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine you drove like a Model A still? You go in there and you're like, I need some parts for a Model A, and they're like, a Model A? You're like, yeah. You know what I mean? So it's just a slow burn. Um, yeah, Dave Austin isn't Burger you can't have it your way. I just can't believe, man. I'm just like, and it's like I go there to like, aren't you guys like the big dogs? Maybe you're not the best ones, but aren't you the big dogs? Like you got the variety pack. Like I'm expecting to tell me like, well, you're gonna have to go. We got stock, but it's gotta go to another store. I mean, I think they're building a hub not too far away from here. Just distributing hub, and I'm thinking like, what the hell for? Like they twice now can't even get the transmission um, filter you want. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Mechanically, that's good. Yeah, you're mechanically inclined. That's really important. That's really important. That helps a lot, and then at least to understand how things are working. Even if you got to take them in, you know. Steven, what's up? Look, transit, but quoted quoted 3,200 fair price to replace the transmission filter. Basically, the whole van has to be disassembled. Wow. I know that's why that's what scares me about the transit. I watched another video on what was it? How they do the brakes. I think the front ones aren't too bad. You got to have like a looks like a special like star bit that's kind of long. Okay, no big deal, whatever. And I kind of seen it, and actually the rotors and stuff are kind of similar to what the Nissan was. But then the rear, it's like they got to pull the axle out. And I was like, dude, I don't like messing with seals and stuff like that. Like, that's when you get debris or you nick something, and now your rear end's leaking. I thought, geez, it just seems like there's got to be a better way than that, just in my opinion. And that's why I don't know if down the road they were saying it was like, he was saying like a brake job's like $2,400. I'm like, what? And now that I'm seeing stuff too, it's like, oh, a brake job. Well, that means calipers. You got to do rotors. You got to do your brake pads. It's yeah, it's crazy. Less technology, the better at this point. That's true. That's true. I literally I can't say for sure. I was working on a gate today, and I was looking ahead the apex. It's a linear, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, the display's not working. Like, well, that's weird. But I'm pushing buttons and it's working. Like the things, like it's running, it's moving, it's hitting its limits. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, I guess in the future, if we ever have to set force settings or something, or see what things are set at, there's no display. Ooh, that's not good. So, anyways, the guy that come over that's in charge, he says something, and I said, yeah, I said, it don't look too bad. I said, looks like we just got to do a preventative maintenance on it. And I said, oil it up and grease and should be good. I said, but the only thing that concerns me is that circuit board in there, there's no display on it. And he goes, oh, that's weird. He goes, when I was in it not too long ago, he says it was lit up. And I said, I know. I said, I said, that's just, I said, but I said, these things have been having a lot of weird glitches lately. And I said, "I don't know if it's just because now they're getting to be up there in age." He's like, "Yeah, okay." And I said, "I wouldn't worry about it right now." I said, "Everything's set and working." And then literally I shut it off. I had it shut off for quite a while. I was doing some stuff for, grease and oil. I turn it back on. It's on. I'm like, now I'm doing like that, like, did I have it off? I swear I didn't have it off. There ain't no way because I was running it. I was running it too. I know I was pushing the buttons and I was hearing it beep and it was running. I'm like, hello? I'm like, I can't see it count down. I'm like, well, that's weird. So I know, but technology. Do, 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 do. What you got? Problem is all those places are wage staff don't. Yeah, people who know their stuff won't work for. Yeah, yeah, yep, yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right. It's. But you know how it is, right? I mean, when they were just preaching all the time. I don't know if it was in your guys' area too. 15 was always like the thing, right? 15 minimum wage, 15, 15. They never even brought minimum wage up to that. They just said it. They set it into existence. And so like McDonald's, right? They had signs up to 15, right? They have that little stipulation, up to or something, I mean, not 15 and on. And I don't know about you, my service never changed. It wasn't like I get more perky people, I get happier people, I get better service. It's just, you know what I mean? It's like we've had this conversation before in the shop here before too. Like it's like some people's attitude just suck. You know what I mean? Like more money doesn't make them gonna be better. You know what I mean? They'll do it maybe for a little bit, but then it's like the other part of them comes out, where it's like they're just either just don't wanna work, don't wanna work, don't wanna be courteous, don't wanna be nice, don't wanna be perky, don't wanna be whatever, you know? So it's just I just couldn't believe it tonight though. I mean, normally they do. Normally AutoZone, I'll hear somebody once in a while, "Well, welcome to AutoZone." I don't know if it's because the big dog's there or something, manager or whatever, but, tonight it was like walking, it's like, damn, there's a lot of people. Nobody's doing nothing. They're all like just staring at me. And I'm like, "So I go up to the first? All right." Like, I just don't want to put up with this shit. I'm just, all right, on to the next. How you doing? And this guy looked like I thought he must, I think he was new. So I'm okay. I'm okay with that, right? I was patient. 4 recalls over 120 after repairs were botched. That's what my thing says on the phone. Wasn't it what was it, the Bronco? When they came out with like if it has a fuel leak, they put a little pan so it can drip on the ground so it don't catch on fire. That's their repair. I just can't believe this is where we're at. Like I just you know, this is my little tidbit, right? My little rant. And I was kind of part of this too. I ain't gonna lie. I'll see like the nice trucks, right? The nice Chevy trucks or something. I'm like, man, those are, it's good looking truck. Good looking truck. It's sad that there's so much plastic on them. The plastic's all gonna bubble and everything's gonna deteriorate in like a matter of 3 or 5 years or whatever. And then they got the transmission problems, and stuff like that. And if you got a 6.2, it chews up the motor. That's sad. That is sad. Chevy made some really, really, in the 2000s and stuff. Even the was it the late, well, the early '90s and stuff. They made some really good V8s. You know what I mean? Just pretty bulletproof. And I'm watching these guys, and they're just zoom, 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 and I'm sitting there. I'm like, part of me goes, well, this is just my goofiness. Part of me goes, I'd like to say, oh, they're driving like that because they're successful, because they're busy. They got to go places. They got. And I sit there and in my back of my head, I go, I know why they're driving like that. Because they got to make those truck payments and they got to pay that full coverage insurance. So they better run, 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 run. And then when the truck's just constantly in the shop, and they nope, we can't work on them, right? You got to have computers and you got to have all this crazy stuff. Now the truck's in the shop and it's sad. It's sad that we're dealing with this crap. Is it Lane? It says, how are you doing today? Doing great. How are you? Do you work on big trucks? Not really. Just kind of like, I have a little bit, but never like a career or say I'm a professional. I mean, I've tore tires off some bigger trucks and stuff like that. Box trucks, nothing really too big with semis. That you just call the maintenance guy. You got a question about a big truck? Well, you can ask. I can try to help. I mean, I don't know if it's for garage doors or you're talking like a full Peterbilt semi. Um, yeah, but you can shoot away. Yeah, yeah, LiftMaster, man, he's got it. Once they added the active fuel management, it went downhill. Yep, it sure did. The first thing to the truck, I want to delete all that and cam it. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty. That was a big, and I think I hear that if you possibly even use the tuner, it's still in those what is the lifters. They can spin or something, or they collapse, and that's what chews up the cam still. And I think I don't know for sure. I'm assuming, just assuming, it blows my mind that we live in this era, right? That it's like, supposedly, and I don't know which way the president goes. I hear, hey, the Ford CEO is here and said that you guys want to work on your vehicles. And, I don't see him like throw his fist down and say, you have the right to work on your vehicles. They need to make vehicles so you can work on them. Blah, blah. They can't, I don't see that. It's just kind of like, what side is he on? I don't know. And then, it's just getting crazy, with all the stuff that they, are trying to block us out. And I think that stuff's going to trickle down into the openers and stuff eventually. I think they're getting you hooked right now. It's like it's free, it's free for now until you start getting really addicted to it. And then it's, oh, you got to pay that subscription. Oh, you want to work on our stuff? You got to pay us a yearly fee. You know what I mean? And then the crappy part is you got to pay that yearly fee or whatever, and then you got to work on a crappier product. So it's like, I think we got to really, I think as everybody, as like America, as men, we got to start stepping up, man. We got to start like working on that older stuff or really voting with their dollars. I mean, I know those shareholders can do quite a bit, but man, when they can't sell that many cars or trucks, it's like you think something's got to change. But what I was getting at too is I think the president came out and said something about the new like we're not going to have the start stop system whatever. But I have a feeling that the Chevy's new platform, which what does that come out? Is that 2027? Their new lineup of motors, I'm sure it's not gonna come out with, like, no fuel active management anymore. It's gonna still have that crap or some design of it, but they're gonna, shove it up our hiney that, "Oh, it's better. It's better. We fixed it. We fixed it." Did you really fix it? I don't think you fixed it, you know? I mean, I would have thought the old Tundras were so good, I would have truly believed that the new Tundras were good. You know what I mean? I would have probably just laid down my life almost and said, "You know what? They do such a good job and they take such good quality control," and they just absolutely grenaded that new Tundra. You know what I mean? Just grenaded it. And now the fact that they're coming out even saying, I think what they're trying to explain, I could be wrong with this. Is they want to hook it up like what GM does, hooks it up to a scanner that's not showing any codes. You're good. Your motor's good. Well, GM was doing the same thing. And then a couple miles later, 100 miles later, or whatever, some people are probably within a couple miles, still the motor would blow up. After it was tested and was good, and they put thicker oil in it, they changed your oil filter free of charge. Phew, really? Come on, man. Fly a kite. That's how I look at it. Heard through the crest or the mission systems at least, and when he came to a few weeks ago, he said that. Oh, at least for tractors. I just, the problem is we only got them for 4 years, and who knows how fast that stuff can change, And I heard Caleb even talking about it the other day, and he's like, "Well," and I think Rich has talked about it too, about they're supposed to come out with that cheaper Toyota, and I don't know all the ins and outs. All I can think is like they're gonna hit a point where they just go like, "We can't sell nothing. What do we do? Like our sales are way down. Like, well, we need to start building something America wants. So want more affordable cars or more reliable or more simple." Um, I don't know how far that will go because I think Americans are, all they got to do is like lower the price a little bit. Boom, say the economy's doing good. make the stock market jump a little bit, and they just think, oh, and keep gas down. "Oh, I can go buy me a big old SUV. You know what I mean? Gas is cheap, and feed you that it gets 50 miles a gallon, and there's no way it's getting 50 miles a gallon because it's a huge SUV and it takes energy to move that thing down the road, and it's a huge wind block. So it's just weird. It's really weird. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I just don't see it happening. You know what I mean? I haven't still seen any diesels, or I haven't seen no advertisements of Ford or Chevy saying, guess what? With the new EPA regulations, you don't have to put DEF in this. You don't have to, it doesn't have to do regen. It doesn't have to have EGR. It doesn't have to have this feature. Haven't seen it yet. I hope we do see it. I don't think we're going to see it. Do, do, do. Who got in trouble for working on their tractor? Wonder who it was. Wonder if we got a name we can verify who it is. You know what I mean? I'm sure that stuff's still locked up though. I don't think John Deere just throws out their information, which is really silly. You know what I mean? That's why I think it's was it doing what was that one guy just doing dairy wrong or something? I can't think of what he always runs the older equipment, just like Pete. I used to like watch Pete from Just a Few Acres Farms. He ran always the old equipment. You know what I mean? Because he could work on it. It was simple. Um, but I guess it's that whole Cantillon effect. You know what I mean? Like you know, people don't want to lower their living standards. I sometimes think about an older truck, and sometimes I go, boy, those things ride rough. Boy, those things really do suck the gas. But sometimes it's like I don't want to give up the luxury of power windows and a softer ride, sometimes. So what are you gonna do? But I could live with another Nissan, similar year. It's been a good truck, rides nice, decent on fuel. I don't feel like it's too bad. It's nimble, it fits in really good. The kids can hop in when they need to for the time being. So they grow a little more, probably grow a little more. SUV would be a little bit nicer, maybe. Get one of those Chevy Suburbans, big old Chevy Suburban. Um, Troy Lake, according to Google. Yeah. Well, you just, like I said, it's kind of, uh, does anybody know why the stock market went down today? I seen the stock was down like the Dow or something like that was down 500 or S&P. I don't remember which one it was. And I was thinking, oh, which I know we always wanted to go up, but I know it's a roller coaster. But I think it must have hit all new highs again. I seen 52 something. I don't know how they're pulling it off, but they're doing it. So keep investing. Got to keep investing. It's fun, fun, fun. All that good stuff. Let me check this real quick here. So let me. What's that? LiftMaster, man. What have you been installing? Mostly like for openers and stuff. LiftMaster, I assume. Did you try a Guardian though? When you did the Guardian, was it a full piece or was it like a Performax? Or was it like Extreme? I don't think they sell Extreme anymore. Maybe they do. I don't know. I did finally get my new book though. Do you think the LiftMaster and Chamberlain are basically the same most of the time? Besides, I understand the rails and um, the pulleys or something, but the internals, I think they probably use darn near the same circuit board. Have you done any Maximum? That's what that low bid wanted. They wanted that to be smart. I thought, oh, it's gonna be smart, all right. You're gonna be calling us back with all these glitches and problems. I guess we'll have fun with you, but you'll be able to see if your door is up or down at least. Marantech, huh? I guess Marantech has some commercial. Are they smart? Always hunts built hand something. Oh. Installed. Never installed anything else. Only 14. Yeah. Well, I said it. James. Um, He started really young, you know what I mean? And he's working for a door company, I believe now, and he's done really good. You know what I mean? It's kind of a passion. It's uh it's it's a good thing to learn. You know, at least you get to see something that you're done with in the product, and it's good to use your hands, and um you can learn a lot, you can see a lot. That's always one thing that was been nice. I always got to see the whole west side of Michigan, um, for traveling and stuff, going down roads I would never go down just on my own. But when you're out doing, service work and all that kind of stuff, it, works out pretty good. Have you looked into any kind of doors? What would you use if you had your choice? Was there any, like, certain brands of, like, Wayne Dalton or Clopay or Horman, Safeway? There any certain, brand of doors that you think you would like to use if you had the option? You know what I mean? Like, if you're just, to say, "I just wanna pick one," try to stay away from those extension springs. Don't let Rusty tell you any differently. Oh, yeah, Clopay or Midland. What's the other one? Is it Mid-American? I think Mid-American makes pretty decent stuff too. I wonder if you got any vendors around your area. Have you ever searched for any vendors to see if you got like a small, like an AMAR or anybody that distributes out? What are these? You got some like photo eye covers. Oh, look at that. I'll be darned. Ooh, look at how nice. What's this called again? Wire hide wall plates. Interesting. Very interesting. So, nice. Yeah. Evan's in the house. What's up, Evan? Changed bottom seal on Midland yesterday. You know, does that I wonder, does Service Spring sell that? Now that you said that, because I had to change weather seal, and luckily I had some help, but I was thinking about that donkey thing or whatever that PT was using. I was like, man, I might have to get one of those so it holds the weather seal up for you. Cause I swear he swore by that thing, like he really liked it. Let's see if they have it here. I don't know if I've ever seen it at Service Spring. He might have got it from a Denko or something. Master straps. Oh, that's where they get those fancy ratchet straps. I've seen some guys put those on their racks. You know what I mean? They got stuff that's round, so you can screw it to your post, or it's kind of a square. Latches. I don't think they have that. I'll have to ask PT. It's probably from Denko or something. Evan, do you use any of these tools? Do you use like or do you just use when you're doing springs? Do you just use a tape measure? I tell you what, man, my life changed when I started using these just to make it so much more accurate. Because sometimes you get in between, especially commercial. But having both, I like the commercial and residential. This gauge always works really good. I like that sometimes for sticking up in the spring, and I'll just look at the mark sometimes, or I'll hold it, so I can get a measurement where the tape measure won't just fit up there that good. Yeah, I'm not seeing this weather seal contraption. Hmm. Oh, see what the local. It's just important to like those are things I just never looked at. You know what I mean? Like I just kind of jumped in, and it was like, oh, where am I going to get stuff? Like I remember when I first signed up with Wayne Dalton, I was just like, yes, like we're successful now because we have a door distributor, like your company that'll sell us doors and direct, and we're good. And I was thinking about it again today. Well, I don't personally like still being stuck with one vendor because I had a situation today. I detailed it, and I was like, a non-insulated door with a torque master because it's tight ceiling clearances. would probably work a little better, and I might have to bid against somebody, and I'm sure low headroom is gonna add what? Another 100, $200 maybe to the quote. There's already a standard door in there. Somebody already notched the rafters a little bit, but when I sighted down it, I was thinking it sure be nice to have that torque master just to get that extra 2 inches roughly instead of having the spring in the center. And I was thinking it's a flip home. It's just it's going to be a low bid. Just want to get it running. Um, I bet I bet a torque master worked nice on this. So do a non-insulated torque master, and then we could throw in probably a used genie and chew up that one that's at here. It was at the shop. CHI Midland from the one, other has CHI Amar Haas, Wayne Dalton. Oh man, sound like us. And other kind, obviously ideal from Menards. Ideal, yeah. The guy in the picture. What was the guy in the picture? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The ruler. Well, like I said, if you ever think of it and you want to upgrade, I use them all the time. I don't even use that gauge anymore. Up here. I use these most of the time, and I use this for, like, the inner diameter. If I'm doing something, maybe like a 2 and 5/8 wire or something, inner diameter. But the gauges, man, man, they work so nice, especially when if you ever gotta go to a commercial and it's one of those things, like, it's just better to have it now than not to have it. Because 'Cause I've been at commercial and I've tried the tape measure and the spring's busted or something, and I'm sitting there and I'm, like, counting, counting, counting. I'm like, "Man, I can't tell if it's, like, 312 wire or if it's, like, 3 something else." I've been on the fence with it before, and the gauges, oh, no, it's definitely that one. You know what I mean? Like, that's it, because it's a bummer when you're first starting out because you don't wanna screw it up. You know what I mean? Springs are you're gonna buy the springs for the customer, and if you don't charge them half down, it could be 4, 6, 1,200, $2,000, whatever, and you're like, "Gosh, I hope I got it right," and it's so bad when you're always there, and then you do it, and you're like, "These aren't the right ones. These aren't the right ones. I screwed something up." Uh, guy. What's up, Freeze? You don't like is that what they're called? These are called pocket wire gauges. I don't know if they're, I don't know what the other one is up there. What is that one called? They don't have a name for that. Spring wire gauge. So one of the pictures is a spring wire gauge. And so you got spring wire gauge. And then you got these ones are the pocket wire gauge. I like to have both. I like that and a tape measure. Then I feel pretty good. And I even have calipers just in case. You know what I mean? If I get into weird, like springs all blown up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll just do the wire. Um, get stuff, just figuring out logistics. Might have to buy a bigger trailer. I'm gonna be losing lumberyard delivery doors too. What does that? What does that mean? Because you got to go pick them up. I'm surprised the ribbon company can even come close. The red, because like any of ours that we go to, they charge us a lot. You know what I mean? A lot to use their product. So, but if you pick up local because you don't have stuff delivered, not yet, but you will. And yeah, yep. There's a lot of handling in that stuff. Actually, I think I should get a trailer hooked up. I think they got a delivery tomorrow. Do, 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 do. Oh, lumberyards delivering doors to job site. Yep. What you need to do, Evan. Well, I don't know. I don't know if you're still kind of doing onesie twosies, because if it was onesies, I don't know. I don't know. I'd be like, "Get a van, stuck them in the van." You know what I mean? But trailers are, if you gotta bring multiple doors, the trailers work pretty good. I can't stand trailers. I don't like backing them up under pressure. I don't like, I've had them before where, like, I can't drop my tailgate because the crank is in the way or something that's gonna damage my tailgate. Walking over them because 'cause I've had slide outs in the back of the trucks. Um, I've had it where it's like I gotta park on the road because 'cause I'm just like, like there's like a driveway that's kinda long or something, like, "Man, I'm not going back there." Like, I'm not gonna get trapped. And then sometimes, like, the shorter the trailer, the more it jackknifes on you faster. But then if you get a longer trailer, now, because I thought I was gonna do that, like, with the Raptor. I was like, I'm like, I got the truck, and then I can use the truck kind of for personal, and I'll, um, I'll just have the enclosed trailer, and it didn't fit. You know what I mean? Like, I'd show up at residential, like, for Broken Springs, and it's like I had to park in certain areas, block the road because I had the big trailer, wide one. And then it'd be, I'd go through and unlock it. I'd go in it, and it was like I'd walk out, I'd have to walk farther. It didn't, it always felt kind of like cheesy, like, um, I don't know. That's just something, like I said, I just remember when I thought because the trailer was nice because I hauled a lot of crap on it. I had even a sleeping bag and a pillow in that damn thing because I'd sleep out if I had a job up north or something. I'd crash in that thing. Um, but it was, then I was turning and stuff. You're always looking in the mirror, and it was more tires, tires flexing, the brakes weren't working or something, the electronic brakes. It was, did I hitch it right? There was a lot of just stuff to it, trying to back it up into certain driveways, other contractors are there. It was just like, oh my gosh, like, um, it wasn't very nimble. Calipers, measure springs, and wear takes about 3 seconds. Of course, on a machine shop for yeah, dial calipers. Am I missing? Is that like the regular calipers? You have to send me a picture just to make sure I'm on the same. Maybe you got something more fancy than I do. I just got the regular slide calipers. I thought there used to be a picture of it on one of these magazines. But of course, mine, the battery's dead in them. I don't have fancy ones. The ones I got the gauge on them. Um, is a operator doesn't support jack shaft. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Eric. I mean, I ended up, I had to sit there and I had to meditate, and it wasn't pretty. I wish I could show you, but it's on the phone. It was a rough house. It was rough. They're gonna fix it up. It was a rough house, but, I got up there, and then when the door was up, I was like, "Okay," I could see they notched out the wood. It was not very much. It was an inch. So I was like, "Boy," I was like, "A chain or a genie would work the best because you can just slam it up in there, send her down." And then it was like, I thought about the jack shaft, and I went, "Well," the problem is if I do a jack shaft, there's no power over in that corner for it. Um, it's gonna be more money, and this is not a customer that wants to spend. They want the cheap of the cheap. And I'm like, if I do a draw or a trolley opener, I can get rid of. I think we have a couple that we can get rid of, that are basically used or we don't want them. So I'm like, I'd like to get rid of them. I'd like to be a storage unit. So I thought, well, we get rid of a couple, one of the units. Um, so when I looked down it, I could see the spring right about in that zone. And I thought, you could make it. I think you can make it, but it's really tight. And I thought if we had just that little bit less with that torque master and the way the jam was, I think there might be. I'm assuming they're going to fix it. I thought I seen a little bit of daylight. I'm not for sure. I thought this place is not. It just kind of has that feeling. Everything to me is like a feeling. Like, they're not going to take good maintenance of this thing, and this spring's already pretty rusty. And I'm just like, yeah, if we just put up a torque master. All I got to do is do a little center plate, And like I said, they're just trying to look for one step up from a tarp, and I was thinking, well, if I do low headroom and the other guy doesn't do low headroom, let's say he gets another quote, I might lose the bid and I might be losing money in there where it's like, because I thought about that. I thought, well, maybe I'll do low headroom. And I thought, well, I can't really do a jack shaft on low headroom. Now I shouldn't have to, because obviously I should be able to fit a trolley, but they already have a 12-inch in there that's running and it's making it. And I asked them too. I asked the customer, I said, hey, I said, you're not putting a ceiling in here, right? Which normally he doesn't. His garage is always kind of like, he always does nice on the bathrooms and stuff, and kitchen, the living area, and the garage is always like they just clean it out. You know what I mean? Clean it up. I don't even think they paint it really. Just get the walls all, everything looking normal. I probably just, yeah, use a caliper. What's up, Mister 405? With the price seems weird with the red ribbon. The short raised panel is really competitive with what I pay normally. Okay, Ben. Getting asked for a lot black doors. Ooh, and that's been more than I'm paying. Yeah, yeah. A lot of I was just talking to a Clopay driver the other day, and he was basically making it sound like they don't even. He's like they got rid of like Sandtone or taupe or something. One of I know Wayne Dalton got rid of taupe, and he's like it's just he's like I think that's what he was saying. It was either because I told him about a green door. We got some touch up paint for it, and he's like we don't sell green doors anymore. And I'm like, yeah, I was like, can't really say we do either. I was like, this customer wanted one because they had an existing green door, and then they wanted a green door to match. But he's like, pretty much everything's black. He's like, that's the new. It's either black, probably that ironwood, since it's Clopay. But I thought that's kind of interesting that how there's a trend, what I mean? That just that's the trend. Um, pain with more, yeah, with more men involved. Are you able to buy openers through them also? Ooh, PT, what's up, PT? Did you have a busy day, Mr. PT? I haven't. What? Jumping around here on me. I haven't asked yet. Website for the particular who says they carry LiftMaster, but models they show haven't been updated since days. Oh yeah. Right, right. Yeah, you gotta be, it's one of those things. Like I look at it, uh, for Evan, and I hope that vendor works out. You know, what I mean, I hope that. But man, around here, when it's the ribbon company, dude, we're like the enemy. You know what I mean? Like I remember I tried to do like an RSX. I think we get those that time we're getting those openers for like $800 around there, and they wanted like it was a lot. It was like $2,400. I'm like, oh no way. I'm like, I'm not paying $2,400 for that Jack Shaft commercial opener. I'm like, psh. Like it's basically the same thing. It's a genie. It's just got a different name on. I was like, no. Um, and so sections. We used to get the Richard. I guess you can get them through the Richard Wilcox. We could get sections, and then somebody said I think Amar now also has some sections that'll line up to the Overhead brand. And but for the most part, it's like good luck. I mean, we would buy some sections here and there from them, but man, I was like, goodness gracious. But maybe they got a different mentality there. I mean, maybe they're open more to the public. They, which would be a good thing. I mean, it's good to have options. You know what I mean? Um, Old school bus. Oh yeah, can slide your door sections, tracks into the back. You don't have to worry stuff sticking out the back. Oh man, right? Worry about the rain. I know. It's kind of weird. Like, so I got that longer van now that I'm kind of upgrading right now. And then we still got the other one out there. And the long van's pretty nice. It doesn't really stick out too far. But what's always kind of weird is is with the vans. we I can't remember one time that it was a problem with the rain. Now I've had guys get upset. I've loaded up their vans before, and then the next morning, and I don't know what the deal is, but they come in, who loaded up my van? It's like, I did. Thank you. You're welcome. No, it's well, I don't like it. Okay, mean, you can still go through it. If you think I missed something. I was trying to get you off for the day, so maybe you get home at a decent time, or if you're struggling or just whatever, you get something, whatever. But what I'm getting at is that I've never had a problem because what I've always kind of told myself is I was thinking it's a garage door. Like in my area, I've seen garage doors with half an inch frost on them. I've seen doors saturated wet. I'm like, I always go like, I'm like, it's a garage door. It's supposed to. Now, the only thing I don't like, especially if you do like a trailer, an open trailer, is I don't like my garage doors to be all dirty. I don't like sand and dirt, road debris. I don't like that. Vans typically don't do that unless you get really certain weather. You might get a little bit of kick up, but not nothing where it's like, oh my gosh. So it's kind of tough, you know what I mean? Because I've been looking, and I could find one with a 12 foot with a certain box on it. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you did like a big, uh, or I was thinking even like one of those FedEx trucks. I looked at those, but you have to have a chauffeur's license, which I got my CDL, it's fine, but I'm just worried that they're gonna get you on the tabs or something, you know what I mean? And then I was looking at something the other day with the tires, and I was like, man, those are more commercial tires. Like, how do you put like winter tires on that thing? If you want to do that, or it just sometimes you get to those little bit bigger trucks, they can be a little tricky. Doo, 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 doo. Green door model 43. Yeah, I know they still make the green, that's for sure, because we just installed one, I don't know, 4 weeks ago. I think he was just saying, like, they just like, he doesn't ever deliver them or hardly ever they never sell them. It's always he said black, and I thought there was another color. Maybe he just said black and white, and I was just like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "We just sell a ton of the black doors," and I was like, "Yeah," and we were talking about, like, the sandtone and, taupe with, Wayne Dalton, because Wayne Dalton, we had a customer that needed a taupe door. All they got now is sandstone or whatever. And I thought he said something like Clopay might have got rid of a certain color too. Maybe not. It was Wayne Dalton or something. Doo, doo, doo. Yeah, temp. Oh, I got all kinds of crazy. I sit there and just like my brain never stops when it comes to the perfect service, man. You know what I mean? It never I mean, I even mentioned it to the wife of Tron. I said something, I said, "Well," I was like, "Why don't you just get a truck?" I was like, "Just get a truck." I was like, "You can just do a half ton, get a lease." I was like, "You don't have to be," and she's like, I mean, she was like pulling my ear, like, with her eyes. She's like doing, "David, we've been down this road before and it doesn't work. You can't mix personal with business." And I'm like, I know, but I like to think I'm Hercules and I could, but it absolutely sucks. It sucks to have personal and business and try to unload your truck if you got to go somewhere in a pinch. And then, if you got to haul kids or you got stuff in the back and I don't want, you got certain stuff back there loaded up for the next day. And oh my gosh, I don't want to go somewhere at the grocery store or something and somebody steal my stuff. So it's just, I told her, I was like, we could do a pull-out drawer on it, get one of those deck systems or get the thing on top and you could, and I'm like sitting there going like, how does that work? From like one day I'm doing garage doors, the next day I'm hauling wood. So I'm like, that's not gonna be cool. I'm still gotta pull that stuff out of there. And then the compartments, now the truck's gotta sit lower. Typically most don't. Dodge is probably a little bit lower. I'm just like, yeah, it's like it's not enough room. It's just not enough room to hold all the stuff that, you know, I want to hold, which actually reminds me, I got to grab a drum. I had a broken drum. Do, 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 do. I love the Clopay. They got a lot of options. They do. Yeah, get the Harvest Gold doors. uh, Just one job today, kinda slow. Any reason, Tony? You think there's any gas prices hurt people a little bit? Summertime just kinda hit that lull, you know? There was, yesterday was some broken springs, today was of course, they're working at the government, which I think they still got another I bet they still got another solid week at the government job. I think just and then I was talking to Cap today about it, and he goes, "They added more stuff." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." I said I said, "Dude, you gotta get that thing wrapped up." I said, "Because he's got a job down in Benton Harbor or something, Kalamazoo, somewhere down there. You gotta do a barrier arm system for the fence contractor." And so I'm just like, "You gotta get this place wrapped up." I said, "So you're like, look, I gave you guys 2 months, and you guys are gonna have to take a break for a couple weeks or whatever." You know what I mean? So it's just like been crazy for us right now. It's like just can't throw enough manpower at it. You know what I mean? It's just been trying to pull every rabbit out of the hat, trying to make stuff. And I've been trying to pull every little trick I know to save on time and been documenting the heck out of stuff, pictures, everything's typing everything up, which I still got actually probably a couple jobs I got to still type up maybe yet tonight. We'll see. Mm, because of the weather. Maybe. Can you even get Richard Wilcox? We used to get them from a place called Discount Door out of Comstock, basically Grand Rapids, Michigan. And then I believe our mom and pop place started carrying them. I think I don't know if they're very like dealer central, like I don't know with them. I know Clopay is, but I don't know about Richards. If we could get like if we could be a vendor of them, I don't know if they're real fussy like that, but we got 2 vendors that we can get them from. And so I'm assuming they're a decent product because the one mom and pop shop, the fact that they're carrying them, like, I don't know if that's exclusively what they carry. I would assume they're pretty decent. They must have pretty good luck with them. Do, 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 do. A company has them around. Let's say about a different one. Yeah, I can close. Yeah, the transit with my 16 foot. Oh man, that is what's nice about those transit, man. I mean, that's a beautiful. The only thing is when I was talking to Cap a little bit because I told him I said, I said one day I said you get upgraded to another truck. I said, you want another, and he's oh well, I said he goes, I just can't really haul a door. It's a 10-foot box. You can haul a door. I've done it. Put a strap on it if you have to, just to help make it so it's not so teeter tottery. There's ways. And he doesn't do that much, anyways. I don't know when the last time I seen a door sticking out of the back of his truck, and but I told him, I said, something about, I said, yeah, remember, I said that transit. I said, you gotta get up in that thing, you know. And he goes, yeah. He goes, that's one thing I don't really like as I get older is up and down on my knees. And I said, right now everything's on the outside you know? So I kind of lean towards I think the cutaways still work the best for our demographics, but boy, I still would like to get my hands on one of those transits just to and if I could stuff everything inside because I already put I put the ladder rack on the van. Wind noise, vibration. It's like, man, this kind of stinks. I used to fly down the highway and it was, it's just smooth. I mean, a lot quiet. The tires are loud, but the van was, you didn't have this vibration up above. And I'm like, man, wouldn't it be nice if the transit you could like fit your stuff in there? I don't know if they got such high. Maybe you could put a ladder thing in there, or put your tubes or something, or your pipe up in there too. Something instead of having them up on top. Nice. Can't be nice to turn in. I don't think it turned too bad. Uh, never have to do a U-turn. Yeah. but they're a big billboard. Tell you what, you want some advertising. Sold a cherry? Dude, that sounds pretty sweet. I never heard it. Is that's actually like the color? It's a cherry color? Let me plug you in here. There we go. Now we got a little bit of juice. A little bit of juice. Oh, what's it say? Everything is enclosed in a bus. Because it's like 4,000 my stay. If you remove most of the seats, you can as an RV. Nice. That's not bad. What? All right. Pretty smart. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Gotta get lectured now. Uh, You guys, I can delete that one, right? No, I'm just kidding. Heading to Tennessee tomorrow, loading up truck at the break. Play signing guy this weekend down in Tennessee. Nice. You still got the tools, Tony? Oh, really? What type work do you do? I think he asked earlier. Garage doors, and gates. Oh, right here. He says, yep, garage doors. That is going to be pretty dark. Yeah. Yeah, make sure you get some pictures of that one, Rusty. I'd like to see that one. Get the pictures. I'll put it on the channel. We'll throw them up. That would be pretty cool. What? Insulated rain windows? Ooh, sounds fancy. Um, just do a vein with racks. Yeah. A lot of radio. Get rid of, yeah. I don't know if you're supposed to use those. I don't know if it's technically legal to be using those, the AirPods while you're driving. I was talking to Wife Tron about it, and we're like, well, I mean, it's hands free, but man, those things work so good for drowning out noise. I get kind of nervous if I ever. I don't really use them. I use my boombox, you know, because I'm always worried that it seems like the fire department and the police sometimes like it's like their sirens aren't as powerful or something. It's like I'll see flashers and I'm like, I don't hear the damn thing, and I'm like, oh, like, I guess they do have it on. Like, I don't know if they had to turn there was some, like, lawsuit or something, and they had to turn down the noise level, what those things can put out, and of course, yesterday, I'm going through an industrial park. I'm just listening to the radio, "Doo doo 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 doo," and there's a fire truck coming out of a commercial building, and I'm just like, "Oh, fire truck," and its lights are on, but no siren. So I'm like, "Oh, shoot," so I kinda do, like I'm passing them. I'm not just stopping. I had to lock up the brakes. And I'm like, the dude ain't got his sirens on. Well, anyways, I pull off. I'm like, is this thing for real? And he comes out, he's got his lights on. And I'm like, I still don't hear a siren, but I'm thinking maybe you can't have it on in this area. They got certain zones, and I don't know why it's all commercial, but maybe the buildings, it echoes or something. Somebody went deaf over it. And so, anyways, I pull over, and he just passes by, and then he turns the lights off. And I'm like, God darn it! I said, probably because he went there with everything on, and when he fired the truck and they put it in drive, it turned the lights on, just didn't have the sirens on. I was like, "Son of a biscuit." I said, "You got me." And so then, of course, I had to follow him, and he was a little bit sluggish, which I just said, "Whatever." You know what I mean? They're just doing their job. Um, we can help you. You talking to me, Tony? What's this? Oh yeah, I can barely handle that brake. Oh yeah, that's one heavy. Yeah, I bet. I bet. Oh, how's the scrap bin? We should go check out the scrap bin. I think there's still enough light out. See what's out there. I get ready for work tomorrow. Was my buddy garage door is closing when he drives truck in the garage door. Really? That's weird. Maybe he's got a remote pinch somewhere in a seat or something. He doesn't drive his truck into his, oh man, garage door. No kidding. when he is coming in the garage door is trying to close on him. What the heck would that be, guys? What would that be? I mean, all I think about is a pinched, I've seen people have pinched remotes, in a seat or something's transmitting. That's most time on a commercial. I can't imagine. I don't know if the truck would be given some kind of frequency just to make stuff ricochet. I guess the one question would be is what oh, it's raining. What what kind of opener? Is it residential? Is it 7 foot high, 8 foot high? Hopefully the iPhone works good. Multi-code, because if I just had like a multi-code. Can't think of anything. What would cause it when you pull in? And does it have photo eyes? Like how old is the opener? Make, model? Oh, phone doesn't like it. It says, I'm dying. I'm dying, it says. Dun, dun, dun. We shall see. We shall see. We got some fancy stuff in here. Got an old Stanley. That's that salt. That's that salt opener. I don't got my flashlight on me. Springs. A lot of springs lately. It's like this year started out really slow. I don't know if that one was the one I chopped. Yeah, I think I took a few parts off that one. It's a Chamberlain Security Plus. It's got the curly Q light bulb in her. Some crazy backhand kit. Bearing plates. I used the bearing blaster the other day for something like those. Popped them out, no problem. Worked really good. Ugh. Commercial springs. Who was that for? I feel like I was a part of that. Maybe not. Should get those cones. We don't have a lot of those cones. The 2 and 5/8 cones. I got the easy. I don't know if you can kind of see that down there. Easy lift. Oh, we got a genie over here. Oh, the genie. Genie screwdriver. I don't think there's much else in here. Got the sprocket thing there for a Osco linear. A lot of fence stuff, ornamental fence for the gov job. Just trying to make that stuff work. The old Stanley. Oh, that's the LiftMaster cover for it. Been stuffing all the springs in this corner. Wait, what is that spring doing down there? What is that one? The 207. The hell is that one? Did I do that one? It looks like 1.75 inches. Of course, I got burned the other day. I went to one. I don't know if anybody carries. Does anybody carry on their truck the 192 wire? 0.192? Yeah. I did save this. I think this was the one that PT did. And then he got, so I saved it because I was like, man, I was like, in case I need some parts. Save the linear. Don't know what's wrong with it, but I saved it. I think it was an 8 foot. Yeah, it was an 8 footer. So saved it for some parts. In case I needed gear. Didn't realize how hard they were to get. But anyway, I didn't know if anybody carries a 192 wire. I might have to start carrying it because of course went to a 9x7. 9100. Needed a 192 wire. I didn't have nothing that would convert out to it. Couldn't cut nothing. Can't stretch nothing. I haven't found a spring stretcher yet. So I had to go back to the shop, get a 192 wire. Luckily we had some, but we don't really carry it raw. We just had some in the old dumpster. Let's see what we got here. What's it got here? Ask him tomorrow. Yeah, ask him. Oh, I got a. You got a screwdriver in your trash bin? Yeah, we got some too. We thought we were gonna have another one. This one at the shop was screwing up. Found out it was a connection issue. Actually, I don't think we got it connected yet, so maybe we should put a bolt back in that side lock. I can't flip it that way. Has anybody got a good air compressor that's like a small one? I mean, it could be a little bit bigger than like this pancake, but one that's just like an animal. It's like a two-cylinder that will keep up. Could be gas, could be um yeah, a little booger. It could be gas or electric. Come on, get up there, you sucker. Um, so I'm always just looking for like the bad to the bone air compressor that like you could like spray a car with it. You know what I mean? Like it's got that much. Was it CFM or whatever? Let's see if we can get this to pop in. Come on, baby. All right, fair enough. What'd you do with the bolt? Oh, it's right here. All right. Lucky night. Do. Ask him tomorrow. Yeah, ask him tomorrow for sure. See what he's got. Me, neighbors Mo is controlling it too. Like a bad circuit board to me. Could be. Could be. Good ideas. Who knows though? Yes. That Stanley got the light cover. Ooh, that's a good point. I just don't come across enough Stanleys I'll ever need. But you're right. Should take it off, put it on eBay. Probably some poor soul. I needed like an old soap. I had a soap handle that was like recessed in the tub, and it was working its way out. And I was over the weekend. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get that thing fixed, glue it back in. Damn thing fell out, cracked, broke the handle off. And I mean, it's from like the 50s probably. Like, fudge. So I'm like, probably never gonna find this thing. Oh, eBay had that and the toilet dispenser, and I was like, dang, dude. I was like, for like $30. I was like, sweet. I was like, then I know it'll fit. It's original. I was like, thanks eBay. You saved the day. So I'm sure there's somebody out there looking for a cover. You know what I mean? Trying to keep something really nice or garage, some old boy, something. You just never know. So you're always thankful when people do have that stuff out there. Soon because her foot and door did wrong. Oh man, you or him should take a video. Yeah, video would definitely help. I'll tell him. Perfect. Pay dumpster bill or they give you a check. So it was really nice. That's a good question, Rusty. We had a place they wanted to charge. It was either like $200 or $400 a month, and I remember I was like, I don't want to deal with that. I was just like, I don't want to deal with like paying for dumpster and that. And this one guy came, and I don't know if they do it for everybody. I think they kind of do because I know our competition has the same bin. But anyways, I told him, I basically told him in a nutshell. I said, look, I said, I don't even need to make money. I just don't want to pay for the damn dumpster. I said, we just need a bin to drop our scrap into and it goes away. Because at the time, we still have that stuff at the time, so busy. It's it's like when I went to my buddies at one time. I'm like, hey man, I'm like, where do you put your pop cans? He's like we just throw them away. I'm like, all right. He's like, you don't think that's weird? And I'm like, no, I get it. And I'm like, why do you do it though? He goes, because like it's 10 cents. And I'm like, I agree. And um, everybody has different, now don't get me wrong, it's kind of nice if things go south and you need a little extra change and it's good for everything, but I get it, you know what I mean? Like, but to me, it resonated with me. The way I always think about it is like fighter pilots, I try to think like America, like the GOV, right? And I look at it like I go, ooh, did you see that? A little lightning. I'll keep it going this way, see if we get anything good. And so I look at it like this, I go, the GOV, right? They spent all this money training, right? These soldiers and these jet fighters and these pilots and all this, right? The airplane's nothing. Airplane's nothing, man. You got to hit the ejection sheet, whatever, man. We'll have the minions make another plane, no problem. But the person that has the experience, the training, the years that we invested into them, that's more important, right? So, anyways, what I'm getting at is when I was at the scrapyard one time, and I remember we were throwing scrap out one time, and I remember it's happened to me. Guy throws something, whoa, dude, that was really close to my face. Or I've thrown something that caught, the cable. That's real common. And the door will do something weird. I realized that this is really a bottleneck. You know what I mean? We once in a while, it wasn't always, but we get a flat tire. We had to spend time that we didn't have. Um, so and it was dangerous because I thought I'd be looking at those guys and I go, man, if I hurt that dude right now, like I'm going to be responsible for his medical bill. Um, I hurt him, which I'm going to feel horrible about. Um, and this guy's down. You know what I mean? So we got all these customers that I cannot take care of by myself. And like, if this dude gets hurt, I'm screwed, and it's going to cost hundreds of dollars versus just have a damn scrapper. Now they can pull up and they can dump off garbage, they can dump off scrap. You know what I mean? Easy squeezy. So, good question. So, but no, this scrap company, we get a check. You might get 400 bucks a month. We normally about a month is when we go through a dumpster. Maybe a month and a half, but they pay us. We don't pay anything for the dumpster. So if we don't get busy, no biggie. Dumpster just sits. So that's pretty nice. Change the battery remote. Don't think that would help. No, I don't think so either. Changing the battery. Well, what you could do though is if it's got a lock button like this one, sometimes you got to hold like the lift master. You got to hold it down, and the light on here will just blink. Have them hit the lock button so it doesn't get any radio frequencies, and see how that works. Because maybe he's getting a frequency when he's pulling in. I don't know how. Maybe the lights bouncing off or something off the truck, or is the truck emitting something, a signal. So have them hit the lock and then try it. Have them go in. You can still use the wall button. That way it's a radio. You can start narrowing down what it is. It's definitely what do you call it? It's getting interference, from radio or something. Might be worth a shot. Whee! Oh, what am I supposed to have before I take them to the dump? Always crooks dig them out a dumpster. Uh, oh man, no way they sell them for new. Dang, I never thought about that. I'm telling you, man, I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I've just been in the field a little bit more, but I constantly am catching myself. Like I'll set the springs down and the springs won't be that bad in shape. I just had it again. I set them down and then it's like I went up back up and I come back down and I did that like, oh crap, which one's the new one? I'm like, okay, this one feels sticky. So like this has got oil on it. This one feels more clean. Okay, it's got to be this one. It's this one, right? Is it? Is it? Like I'm thinking, oh, please don't. Like that's the last thing I want to do is hear from the secretary. Like you were out there. You know how you're out there at that job? Yeah. Well, their spring broke. How can that be? It's only 6 months, 8 months old. Like, no way. You know what I mean? Then what? Then I'm in that predicament. Do we honor it? Do we, was it faulty spring? Is it the manufacturer? Was it just a glitch in the matrix? So I keep thinking, I go, gosh, those springs being painted and colored, they're starting to sound kind of better. Where just, hey, ours are blue or whatever, that's our spring, man. That's fresh pair right there. To find garage door company. IPPT working with Dave. Was it two springs or one? It was one. I think we went from, I don't know, Wifetron probably remembers what it was. It was a 192 was a 2 inch, and I think there's, gosh, I don't remember what it was. If it was like 20 inches or something, 21, and then we had to go like an inch and 3/4 and make it 27 or something. But we tried 207. It was close. The problem was, I always tell you I kind of do that 4 inch, which is right or wrong, but 4 inch is my max, and it was like three and a half. But the door was compromised a little bit. It had a rip in the panel, and I basically had time, so I just was like, I said, you know what, we're just gonna run back to the shop. and dig it up. Of course, as I'm driving back, I'm like, I don't know if we have raw 192 wire, but I at least knew I could make a longer 207 to make it work. So maybe we should start carrying some 192 on the truck. It ain't the first time, and it's not very often. But I used to probably get maybe 3, 4 a year. They catch me with that 192 wire. I used to have to order them. We got such a kind of a stock now. Um, it's not too big of a deal. Somebody has been really good. I know somebody that has a really good air compressor. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, like, I don't want something really big. I used to have a really big air compressor back at my old house, and then it had the volume and it couldn't really keep up. It was an Ingersoll Rand. It was all right. But I tell you what, I do so much with that little pancake air compressor. I've really used and abused it. I've done undercoating vehicles and stuff with it. Um, but I need like a little more, you know what I mean? And I see some of those ones that got a wheel on it, and it's got two tanks. And they'll use them for like roofing. And I just don't, I haven't done a lot of research where I just saw, my big thing is I'd like to be able to run like an air gun for taking off tires, a sprayer. It doesn't have to be perfect, no, but it's just something a little more pep. I gotta do some research, you know what I mean? And so I always think I want to go gas. I think the gas sometimes, then I think about if it tips over and I got to deal with oil, and most of the time I got electric around. It's just sometimes, once in a while, like if I'm gonna tire here or something, I'm like, man, I wish I had the gas one, but I'm the hell's going on out here? It's raining pretty good. Wow, it's really coming down. Tony, do you still got Craftsman screwdriver? Been trying to get a hold of you. Think I got wrong number. Check Google's number one. He's number one, man. That was great. Telling that salesman, that's right, who's number one? Uh, and don't you forget it. That was classic, man. That was classic. Tony, we gotta put that. Can we put that like at your funeral? That was a beautiful moment. Ring. I'll see if we can get some to look at it tomorrow morning. Nice. To spray, you need over 9. See, you're not going to find a small one to do that. What's this one do? I think this one's like 6. Maybe I'll go out there and check if the rain stops. But 9 CFM, huh? Yeah, I mean, I know it's not like perfect, but I feel like there's, how they got the little Honda generators and you can like join them together. You know what I mean? Like it's just so nice to have them portable. You know what I mean? And so I just thought, I know those dual ones are probably a little bit more heavy that I can lift by myself. You get those ones. I seen a truck that had one. I thought, see if I get that, it's got the cutaway. I'll take the air compressor out. Then I can, I can whatever. You know what I mean? Like I can have that, which I don't know what to do with because it goes in the back of your truck. I can't lift it in and out by myself. I just feel like we should live in an era that we got either a screw drive one or something out there. I see one that was called a medical one, and it was pretty. I don't know if it was 9, but it was up there. It was more than the one I have. And I thought, but it was a medical one, and it was like I was like, why would they need such air for a medical? It was something medical, and it was just I was surprised what it did, and I was like, I don't know. I didn't look back into it, and it was gone off marketplace. T-rail with silicone spray. Hope that works for a bit. I think that'll be all right. Oh, you saw that thunderbolt? I'm waiting to lose power here. Honestly, it's just. I mean, it's hammering down, man. Parking lot's gonna be flooded. Oof. Yeah, I told you it was coming. What's it look like now, Rich? Is it like Is it gonna last, or is it gonna let up here, or what? Okay, I'll try that. I fixed a 22523 on Monday. Today she called and door next to it broke. Now that you say that, I got a video that'll come out with the one when they had a dual setup, and I'm dreading that the old boy's other spring because they're working at the same time. This spring's gonna break. The other spring. I hope it don't destroy something. It's crazy close. You tell old spring because they have a bit of a twist. Oh, bit of a twist in the free state. Hmm. That's if they got their marks on them, right? Hmm. I did. Good call. I did leave the shop door. Luckily, it doesn't really come in too bad. We it was hitting the door and used to come in, run down the door. But I think we did have a little bit of shipment of springs. But anyways, we ground it, so now it's pitched the other way, and that's been working. Because we used to have a little puddle there in the morning, and of course it was always where all the UPS drivers would set stuff. So boxes are all wet. It's like, oh man. I always think about a gutter, but just haven't got around to it. I'm worried it's gonna get ripped off too in the winter, but I don't know. Do, 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 do. Was the truck window open though? Hopefully the truck one wasn't open. Could have been though. Yeah, dentists need air. Maybe that was, you know, I just kept thinking medical. I thought, what the hell could they need medical? It needs that much air. And it was like a smaller unit, but I didn't investigate. I just kind of seen it. And I was like, oh, I'll come back to it. And then I was just like, God, that seemed like a pretty good CFM. Like it was, and it was I don't know if I looked it up. It was like $3,000, and then they were selling it for like under 1,000 or something. And I was just like, hmm. I was like, I don't know about that. Maybe it's got CFM, but it doesn't have pressure or something. Like I was like, yeah, I don't know about this. Something seems a little goofy. So I just kind of brushed it off, and then I went to look for it again, not real hard, but I was just like, I don't see it. I was like, whatever. And I haven't really needed one, but I've been trying to leave that one at the shop, and then I'm kind of hurting personally sometimes. So what I did do though is I did buy a little Milwaukee, but that's not good for like when you got to blow out an air filter or blow some debris out of something. So that's just for like a code red emergency. Hey, got a flat tire. I've always wanted one because of course I even checked with the one that I got that's got the cord that you plug in the cigarette lighter, and I was like, it ain't gonna reach to the back. And I bought that really nice tire sealant, and it's not Fix a Flat, it's a better brand, and it works pretty darn good. I had a hole in something and it sealed it right up, and at least got you, you know, fixed. Actually, I fixed a few things with it. I fixed a skid steer tire with it. I think I fixed Caleb's tire, aluminum leak, basically Fix a Flat. And there was another one. I forget which one it was. I think it was a small tire. Can't remember. Do, 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 do. Thinking the same. Yeah, that's right. I never thought about that. You're always using the drill thing. Let up about 10. Well, good, man. My seat won't be so soaked. It's gonna be drenched. It's yours. You want to come get it? I'm gonna get off now. See you tomorrow, Rusty. Around 8. See you guys. Whoops. I'm so sorry. I just hit something. I just turned Rich off. How did I do that? Rich, you're gonna have to reply back. I gotta turn you back on. I bumped you, man. I don't know how I did that. Uh, Going to give you ringtone office for the drills and suction. Oh, a suction use there? I forgot. Well, oh, drought. Okay. Yeah. Dang. See you then. Let's see here. Oh, there you go. I totally messed this up. Oh, Ed. There we go. I think I got you back on. Phew. I don't know how that happened. It happened so quick. Crazy. Just crazy. I'm gonna go check out, see how these windows are open. See if these windows are open before we call it a night. I don't know what happened 2 nights ago. I was not feeling good. I got some horrible sleep. I was literally falling asleep driving. Hopefully Eric didn't see something like the windows being open. Yeah, she got a little wet. She got a little wet here. Not too bad. No windows open, is there? Yeah, we're good. We're good. Hopefully nothing else has windows open. Go around, check. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Make sure the guys. My van's lucky. My van's got those little, I don't know what they call them. They're like, dang, look at all this water, dude. This thing is a river. We get water off that road. I normally I'll come out here in the rain sometimes and watch it to see how it's flowing because we got to do something about that. Can't open the damn gate right now. I want to see this water flowing. It's flowing. I think we got to make a little etch by the ditch. I did once before. Please, where are you? The problem is it comes back here. So it'll pool up in there and it drains in here and it's running, man. Holy cow. The problem is it'll run back here to this low spot and it kind of gets these saturated muddy, you know what I mean? Like a muddy area for the scissor lift. See, the problem was back in the day, there used to be a hole back there. I think they used it to build up this building. And I filled it in because I scraped off all this, whatever you call it, overburden or whatever. So they put in the gravel. Just flip the camera here. See how this is flowing. Yep. So I did it here a long time ago. I dug a little trench in here, and that seemed to help out quite a bit. Like this has already got water in it. So some of this water will run right here, down in here. But this side, this is flowing. This keeps flowing, and it's flowing, and it all flows back there. Not good. So I think what we'll do is we'll notch out this a little bit here. This driveway right here is really in bad shape, but you got to deal with, they talked about it. Maybe you have to do a decel lane. Forget all that. You do all that crap. So I've been trying to figure out a way to either just try to like put squares in slowly. You can see that we beat them up. Semi trucks beat it up pretty good, but yeah, we're getting runoff. I think this is flowing too. Yeah, it is flowing. But yeah, the drain pans don't work very good. Oh, just stepped in a puddle. Not good. Not good. I was thinking about even building this grade. See, I got to get like the attachment for the skidster. It's got like that rotor. I think that's a rotor. It's basically because all I need to do is just turn up the dirt a little bit and slowly kind of work that back. I'd like to work it back towards that ditch. So this water, we don't get all this water because I did it years ago over here when we did the driveway. I got this all because I knew that was gonna be a problem off the neighbor's lot. And then over here on our lot, I got this little bastard kid right now that's been doing donuts. He rides a four-wheeler, and I don't mind he rides a four-wheeler through here, but I don't like when he does donuts because I'm worried he's gonna throw a rock into our building and smash the window. But oh yeah, this puppy's pretty wet right here. So he got all this off this, he's got asphalt, so we're getting all that runoff in here. I knew better not to get rid of it. There's always a little belly here, but see, like right now, this could get all scraped out too a little bit better to help that drain into the ditch. I mean, it's going to probably percolate in there, but It's definitely not running in there. It's just more or less sitting here. First, first world problems. Never noticed this though. We got a little downpour, but that's good. That's good. I'm glad I was here to see this because once I get the skid steer over, I just worked on it, got the starter. I think I got the cable fixed that was causing it. I always had to jump it, like it's got a bad ground. So I haven't tested it, but I think it's fixed now. So I get it over here and just got a cover actually. It's actually in the truck. So we can park it outside and have the skid steer over here because oh my gosh, there was we had to unload that fence job for the GOV. 8 foot. Look at all this. Look at that. It looks like a damn river, man. It's got that ripples. Look at that. That's a lot of freaking water. It's not good. It's not good. And it takes a day or so for this stuff to always drain out. I can't walk over, but this thing's full of fence that goes inside the building for the GOV. That was absolute hell to unload. Definitely needed fork extensions. Look at all this water. That's definitely not the way to go. Have it run into your property. Mm-mm. And it's not fair that we get it off the road. Oops. You know what I mean? I told the guy one time when he was here, he came and he said, "Oh, you get me." We weren't doing the ditch. We were just getting out this DOT, and it's funny how I changed his tune. I started telling him, I said, I said we're getting runoff off the road over here. Oh, I had his apprentice with him. Started changing his tune. But yeah, I got to find like a little rotor. Need a brush hog, and then I also need a rotor. Just something to kind of beat up the ground a little bit. And just slowly scrape it with a bucket would be nice. But yeah, this ain't good. Yeah, not good at all. Oh, rain guards. Yeah. We'll see if anybody else. This van shouldn't because this one hasn't been being used. I used it last for service detail. Looks like Mr. Kale's got his up. He's all good. But yeah, this one, these are actually pretty nice. I do like these. For the let them be cracked open. It's pretty nice. I kept thinking, might be nice to put a couple on there on those vans. It's just nice to have it cracked so you get a little fresh air. This one the guy smoked in it, so I've been trying to get rid of that smoke smell for quite a long time. I think I'm gonna have the Wipertron probably get one of those ozone things. It's like $100. Try it out. Get rid of some of it. It's pretty much almost gone now. I carpet scrubbed it and all that good stuff. Oh, hate when we used to have long driveway. Couldn't remember the long stretch of the drive. Ooh. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta get a sleepy pill, maybe a little midnight snack. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm glad though we're getting the rain. Last year we were really drought weather too, so definitely appreciate the rain this year. I'm sure the farmers. Hopefully, it's not too much for the farmers, but rain's good, except for when it makes the driveway all muddy. Can't decide though. Maybe we should pull out some concrete this way, but I can't go too far because I really don't want to get rid of the tree yet. You know what I mean? I was using it the other day. I've been using it quite a bit actually, with keeping the sun. It's really nice, but I don't know the way I want the driveway to go. The darn trees right there. I don't have really a replacement tree for it yet. We'll see. We'll see. Weather, yeah, weather tech. Ooh. All right, guys. Thanks for helping me fix the genie. I knew the genie would come through. I knew that's why you got to install a genie screwdriver. Just install a genie screwdriver. You'll never have problems. Never. Don't install those lift masters or Chamberlains. I'm just joking. They all got problems. Like I said, we're always just trying to find the, clean a shirt and dirty laundry basket. But luckily tonight we got lucky. I just noticed you didn't put the covers in there. Those little plastic covers. What does it say? Oh, an iodine. Yeah, yeah, for the van. the van, there was a couple other things. Sometimes I always think about the hunting trailer. It just gets stale. Um, I thought about trying it. I got one of the rentals in the bathroom. Just some reason, it's like doesn't matter. You wash it, everything. It's just it always has this weird. I don't know if it's in the roof tile things. Thought maybe it would help eliminate some of that. There's been a few other times, I thought about trying that system out. So, but I don't know. Like I said, it's like 120 bucks or something, but you know, just another thing to store. So I don't know. We'll see. It's in the idea world. All right, I'm out of here.